manipulating higher, didn't take out buy side. We started to move lower. As soon as I saw that, I took a trade right there, and then I was out at the bottom of that. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lewis, and if this is the first time that you're tuning into my YouTube channel, I want to thank you for giving me your time. This is the YouTube channel where I document my trading journey. First and foremost, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. It popped up here and it's down in the description. Let me know how your trading week went in the comments, or at least how your trading journey is going if you're fairly new. I want to thank Tektronix for sponsoring this series. If you're looking to build your dream PC with the best available parts in the market, make sure you check out Tektronix.com. The link is down in the description where you'll be able to hop on their website and look at the crazy deals that they have. They have a 1-year warranty and quoting is available, so if you want to get very specific with your build, they'll be able to help you out with that. If you've been wondering what Forex broker I use Hero FX. The link is down in the description. If you're looking for a new Forex broker, make sure you check out that link and take advantage of the opportunity. All right, I don't want to yap too much this week. It was a very interesting week. Ended up being a very good week, except for one day. One day was really if I could go back and change that day. You gotta live with your decisions either way. It is a long-term point of view game, so I had a very good week in my eyes. I can't really complain. Very challenging again, and I think now I feel like a real trader. I feel like I'm so confident and calm while I'm trading that my decisions are coming out a lot smoother. I don't even know how that makes sense, but I was watching a video of mine from a couple months ago. Yeah, that video was, I was just looking at myself like, what was I talking about? What am I doing? Because I don't have the same thought process while I'm getting into a trade. Yeah, a lot of the things are similar, but I could tell I've definitely matured as a trader, and that is what the point of the series is, so that one, I can motivate anybody who's new into trading to see my trading journey and see how I went from zero to where I'm at now and then on in the future, but also so that I could document my own trading journey apart from my actual journal. This is like a video journal series where I can always go back and check what I was doing, and if I ever experience a certain thing, let's say for example next year on my second year or something like that, I can go back and watch that specific video and really find out where I was messing up on. But yeah, I don't want to sit here and yap all day. Let's get into the charts so I can really explain what happened this week. Like I said, it was a very interesting week. I'll just explain it once we get in, and make sure you stick around to the end of the video so that you can see where the account is at. I show it at the end of every video, so make sure you always stick around for that if you want to see the progress on the account. Apart from that, thank you for 920 subscribers. We're gonna be at 1,000 in no time, and I have to think of what I'm gonna do once we hit 1,000. So let's see. I have a lot of things planned that I can't talk about yet, but sooner rather than later they'll end up coming out. So let's hop into the charts. All right, so now that we're in the charts, this is the week that we ended up having on the 1 hour. As you can see, we started with the Monday high of the week and then all the way down till Friday. It was a down week, but like I said last week, if you haven't watched that video, go and check it out. Market maker sell model. It is very important to understand what type of movements the market is doing, and I think we might have hit the original consolidation already, so I don't know, but we have a bunch of generated buy side liquidity, so we could see what next week looks like. But like you can see here, there's still a lot of sell side liquidity down here. We'll just have to play it smart next week and see how it plays out. But that model that I said last week ended up playing out perfectly, and I just have to show you what ended up happening this week. So let me turn on my drawings, and this is what I had. I did a little bit of back testing, so this isn't what my actual chart looked like during the week. I did a little bit of back testing, if I remember correctly, on Friday. There's a couple new things in here that I added on after, but either way, let's head into the actual days of the week so that you guys can see. For next week, I do see us, I don't remember if it's a weekly. Yeah, it is a weekly. No, it might be a daily. There's a fair value gap that we have down here on the weekly, which I see us coming into, and then we'll just have to see what happens after that. But as you can see, we're coming down. If I could hide it again, so you can see this is the fair value gap. It's coming down into it, so let's see how it ends up playing out next week. Let's go into the days. Like I said already, I don't want to make this video too long because I have a lot of work to do, and I don't want to use that as an excuse as to why this video isn't going out, but I'm trying my hardest. I am literally on a grind for you guys. So let's see how the week ended up painting out on the 15 minutes. So as you can see, we had that big dump on Thursday. Friday we ended up coming back up a little bit. If we take a look here, this is the trade that I ended up taking on Monday. So Monday, I knew Monday the draw on liquidity was initially gonna be this high, but I wanted to wait a little bit before I got into it so quickly, just due to the fact that I think I might have had one losing trade somewhere in here, but it was chopping a lot on Monday before the actual move ended up happening. But what I did was just be patient. I noticed that we had manipulated up, took out buy side, then manipulated back down, took out sell side, and then started to move back up. We formed this buy side imbalance on the 5 minute, and I entered a bit early. The wick hadn't finished forming, and I entered. That's why you could see it came down and tripped me in, barely had any drawdown, and then I targeted that high right away. Ended up having a very good Monday. But like I said, as you can see here, the reason why I knew we were gonna go up was because I saw we swept sell side liquidity in London. So I thought if we had already taken sell side, we would move up. It's the beginning of the week, so I think we're gonna go up, sweep buy side, and then start moving down since we were in our sell model like I said last video. And that's exactly what ended up happening. And then after that, there was even another trade you could have took where you targeted down here. You could have targeted the initial manipulation and then some. But what I do is, like I said, if I take one winning position, I am out of the market. There's no point of me trying to trade even more if I already took my W. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's what ended up happening. I started the week very well. I believe this was like $900 trade, but that is basically what ended up happening. So what I did was, so you can see here, this is what ended up happening. We manipulated higher to get out of that, and then ended up, I bought right there, and as you can see here, we ended up just rising after that. So it ended up being a very good trade to start out the week. And then I got out right as we took out that buy side liquidity up here. It was about a $900 trade, so that ended up getting me out of the little bit of drawdown that I had from last week. And I believe, like I said, I did lose one trade in here in this consolidation, so can't be mad. But I knew the draw on liquidity, and once you know the draw on liquidity, you just have to take your chances and take risks, because if you're not going to take the risk, then you're never really going to be able to participate in the trade. That leads me on to the next day. So Tuesday, I completely froze. It's my fault both times. There was 2 trades on Tuesday that I ended up missing, so I just decided not to trade. I have a screenshot from right before market open where I was talking to one of my trading friends, and I told him exactly what was going to happen. I said I was anticipating a move up to manipulate, and that's exactly what happened. As you can see here, it came up, hit this order block, and then just went straight down. So my initial target was these equal lows from the day before. That is exactly what ended up happening, but I didn't take the trade. I don't know why, but I was expecting us to get at least up to here before we ended up going down, but that is too far. I should have just took the sell position as soon as we swept buy side or manipulated up to sell buy side. But as you can see also, if you take the bodies of those candles that manipulated and use them for targets, hit it perfect to the T and then hit the -4. So like I said, I called this move, but I didn't take it. I don't know why I hesitated, but like I said, I was expecting it to go back up. And then there was also a 1 minute breaker in there that I could have took the entry on. I blame myself this day for not taking that, but with the trade before, I was already up about 1%, 1.3%, something like that on the account. So if I would have took this trade, I would have been up around 3%. And then if I would have took the second position, maybe 3.5% or maybe 4% by then. Yeah, as you can see up here, I was actually gonna enter the trade. We swept buy side. I saw that we created this imbalance. We came back into it, and then as soon as this candle closed, I was gonna enter what should have been a perfect entry. I would have entered there, had my stop above this high. Let me show y'all. Could have entered at the close of this, had my stop above that high, and then just targeted that sell side liquidity. Would have been a 4R, and I would have managed my risk correctly. What I also could have done was, once I was in, what I was anticipating it to do was come back up into this sell side imbalance and then just move down. As you can see, it barely went in there. I think it was like 2 ticks away from it, but we had this high, low, higher, high, so it came up into this breaker and then went down. But as you could also see right here, up, went into this order block. I had so many entries on that day, but I didn't take them. It was my fault. I even had another entry right here I could have took on the way down, but coulda, woulda doesn't work out in trading. I should have just entered this day and then just rolled it out. It's my fault. I took full accountability for it, but what's important is that I was correct in my analysis. I was correct on what was going to happen, and that's the most important part. Don't be too obsessed about losing a trade or missing a trade that you know is going to hit. And it's annoying. I know. I understand. It's very annoying, especially when it hits your target. You feel like you just wasted a whole day, but don't look at it in that sense. Look at it as, okay, I was correct in my bias. I stayed disciplined. I didn't enter when I didn't recognize my edge at the moment. There's going to always be another trade that comes around. So just stay very patient and stay disciplined. I guarantee you that was probably the best move I made during the morning session. Now the afternoon session, that is my fault. I should have took this trade as well. As you can see, perfect execution. It was a 5R. It was on the 15 minute. As you can see here, came back into the sell side imbalance, was the silver bullet, as you can see, and then came back down, took out sell side. So I had 2 trades this day trade that I could have took. I just didn't take it, and I don't know, for some reason. I think it was just the fear of not wanting to lose, but you're gonna lose. There's no point. I fixed it during the end of the week. There's just no point of being scared of taking these type of trades. You just have to take them. You really just have to take these trades. There's no way that I saw this and didn't take it. I should have just took it. I had my stop right above the consequent encroachment, so as you can see here, it never even got to the consequent encroachment. I went straight to the target, which is a perfect entry drill. As you can see, we're in the bottom quadrant of that sell side imbalance. That is what you want to see, and I just didn't take it. I hesitated, and that's my fault. You're gonna have days like this where it goes exactly the way you said it's gonna go. Had big wick rejection up here. Should have easily just took that sell and watched it go all the way down, and I probably would have been done after that. But who knows, if I would have checked this around 11 and I saw that big sell side imbalance, I probably would have took that trade too. That in itself would have probably got me up 4% of the account, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, because especially this trade, I don't know, let me see in the replay. So as you can see here, with 5 contracts, would have been risking 220 to make 1,100. So that was a very good risk. I should have just took that. Even if I would have took it with less, because I had, let's say for example, already won 2 contracts, would have made it about 1%. 3 contracts, 1% for sure, to risk 132. That was a perfect trade. I should have took it. Didn't take it. It's just what it is. Let's just move on to the next day. Wednesday was the day that I messed up on that I was talking about. So I came into the day with a bullish bias, and if we look at the 4 hour, this is why I came into the day with a bullish bias. On Wednesday, we had created a big SMT. Okay, so as you can see right here with these 2 lows, we had created an SMT and started to move up. So ES never took out this low. So what was I anticipating? Us to go out and take out this generated buy side liquidity, but we had already took buy side up here, so the move down was inevitable. Either way, I broke my rules on Wednesday. I traded during the London session and over risked. I got greedy at one point because I started with 2 contracts, and then I was like, there's no way that we're gonna have a daily SMT and not go up to the high, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So I added 1 more contract, had 3 contracts. I was risking about 3 something, and then the trade just ended up going the wrong way. As you can see, we had a down day Wednesday, which was probably the best day to trade, but I came in with a bullish bias and got destroyed. So just don't break your rules. If you say you're gonna trade at 9:30 for market open, just trade at 9:30 for market open. I don't want to say I let myself get convinced into trading at that time, but the setup looked so good that I was like, let's take it. I was risking like 3 something to make, I believe, 2,000. So it's like, if it would have hit, yeah. But again, I broke my rules. I should have never really broke my rules that day. As you can see, I thought that we had a sell side imbalance on the 4 hour up here that I thought we were gonna end up targeting at one point once I got into the market later on, but it never did. I think, no, this was on Thursday, never mind. On Thursday, I then came in, took 2 trades in the New York session, which were both longs, and got destroyed. So just took a short. I finished after 2 trades that day, and I lost about the whole 1% that I had won on Monday. And if I would have won on Tuesday, then I would have just been fine. I had 2 winning trades and I lost 1. I should have just managed my risk. And honestly, the 2 trades that I had in the morning session were both smaller than the 1 trade I took in the London session. So don't break your rules. If you say you're gonna trade there in London, or if you say you're gonna trade there in New York session open, then trade New York session open. Don't trade there in London. And the name of the game, like I said, is having small losses and big wins. So the 2 wins that I had on Monday and Tuesday, and I count Tuesday as a win, not in the trade, but in the analysis, because that's the most important part. If you know exactly what the market is doing, and I called it, I have the screenshot and everything. I said we're gonna manipulate higher and then take out those equal lows. That is exactly what we ended up doing. I had those 2 wins Monday and Tuesday. If I wouldn't have traded on Wednesday London session, I would have had less than $150 loss on Wednesday, and the big win that I had Thursday would have just been ridiculous. So that is what your rules are there for. I broke my rules and I ended up paying, but that doesn't really matter because then I had a crazy big win on Thursday, which is basically a 2% trade. That loss on Wednesday was like 500 or some change, which made me lose. And then I lost an initial trade Thursday in the morning, and then my second trade boomed. So I got all my profit back and I was up 2% on the account. If you want to know how much I'm up on the account now, stay to the end of the video. But as you can see here, this is the trade that I ended up taking on Thursday. We had came up and barely took out that buy side liquidity. If you see up here for the high where the H is, the high for this was 162.75 and the high for this is 162.50. So we didn't even take out that buy side liquidity. So as soon as I saw us do that, I knew we were gonna end up going lower, and I had drawn liquidity being this low and this low. But as you can see, it even got as low as this low, which was what I should have been targeting with a runner at least. I had 4 contracts in this day, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, I got out of drawdown and I was up 2% after this trade. Let's take a look at what ended up happening. Yeah, I ended up taking the trade on this 15-minute sell side imbalance, so it was the silver bullet once again, and it ended up hitting. It never hit my stop loss. I had my stop a little bit higher, and then I moved it down to manage my risk. After it started to break down, moved down to in profit, and as you can see here, this is the trade that I ended up taking. Hopefully I could get it so it looks right on the replay, but we ended up coming up and not sweeping that sell side liquidity. As you can see, we ended up manipulating higher, didn't take out buy side. We started to move lower. As soon as I saw that, I took a trade right there, and then I was out at the bottom of that, came into that 15-minute sell side imbalance, and then you went straight to my targets. And like I said, I should have held a bit longer, or had a runner at least, so I can see if I could have got any more profit out of it. But I was content with my 2%. I got out of drawdown. It was a very good trade. Like I said, it was the silver bullet on the 15-minute. Once you know the draw on liquidity is very simple. Wednesday was the only day that I was like, oh, I don't know what the draw on liquidity is, but since we had that daily SMT, I thought we were gonna go higher, just ended up not going higher. And then as you can see, this is what we ended up doing for the rest of the day. But Friday I had a very small loss. It took a long and I was in profit about $300, and then I saw it come back down. And it's annoying because I should have known. As you can see, we have this big 15-minute candle that this was my first target at, and then I had I ended up having these two equal highs as my draw on liquidity. So my first take profit was going to be here, and then I was going to let the rest run up to this high. But as you can see, we came down, swept south side, and then started to move up. And once I saw we didn't take out this buy side and started to move down and left this big of a wick, I should have known that we were going to end up moving lower. And even right here, we didn't even come up to the consequent encroachment of that wick. So I should have just took a short, and I believe I took a sell position by accident on this day, and then I closed it because I was like, I took it by accident. But if I would have just held it, as you can see, we ended up coming back down and taking out that sell side liquidity I had marked. It is what it is. It was a small loss this day. I'm still up 2% on the account. I'll show you as soon as we finish this, but I should have noticed, I should have known if we left this big of a wick and didn't take out this buy side, then we should have known that it was gonna end up going lower. But I thought we were gonna take out this buy side and go up because we had swept sell side liquidity in London, so I thought we would have a continuation for the rest of the day, but we had a reversal and then reversed again, or I guess retracement and then reversed. But I should have been looking for sells. I had a long and I was up about, can't remember, it was about $300 or something like that. But yeah, I entered, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I entered right here as soon as we came back into this sell side imbalance, and then I had a limit order right here that I didn't take, but that was where my initial entry was gonna be. So if I would have just been patient, I would have saw it come down and go up. And then this move right here, probably I entered with 2 contracts, so that probably would have got me 1%. I would have just closed out as soon as we got up here. But once we disrespected this sell side imbalance, I should have knew that we were gonna come down. So I ended up watching it come down, and I think I got out right at break even, and then I got in a couple more trades around here, but it was just chopping lower and making lower lows. So I should have known that we were gonna end up going lower. And then I took a sell position by accident, like around here or something like that. I don't remember exactly, like around here, and then I closed it by accident. So I could have just held down here, but it doesn't matter. It was a small loss, and that's the name of the game. So as you can see, beginning of the week I was up 1%. I ended up having that bad day on Wednesday, and it was my fault. I take full responsibility. Nobody pushed any buttons for me. It was me. And then I came back Thursday, and now I'm up 2%. Now that trade on Friday, I could have been up a little bit more. I was close to being up 3%, and I didn't close, and then ended up stopping me out. That is the name of the game. You want progress in the long run. So last week I was up. Last week I think I was down like a $30 or something like that, and now I'm up 2% of the account. So it doesn't matter how much I win or lose, as long as I'm up in the long run. Hopefully by next week I could be up 1% above what I am now. We'll see how it looks. I haven't looked at the economic calendar at all, but we'll end up seeing how it looks for next week, and then we'll just go from there. I want to show you guys the actual account now. All right, so as you can see, this is what the account looks like right now. My best day says 900, but that was like I have a screenshot. My best day was $1,000, and I lost a little bit in the morning session. So this is what it looks like initially going up. So I want to keep it like that. I'm very close to that 6% target, which is end up seeing. That was my worst day, 400 and something change, and I believe that was on that day on Wednesday. So yeah, Wednesday, that was very bad. And then I got overconfident Thursday in the beginning of the day, and I ended up losing, but then I had that big win to come back into it, and then I ended up losing $140 147. No, I ended up losing 135 on Friday. So as you can see, small losses on the days that I lose, but except for this day, but big wins on the days that I win. And that's how I want to keep it. So we'll just have to see how it goes for the next week. That is literally the name of the game. You want to have days where you have small losses and big wins. So next week, that is what I am prioritizing. Probably towards the beginning of the week. I haven't looked at the economic calendar yet, but I want to make sure that I am risking low. So I'm probably going to go in, you know, into my first entries around 2 contracts, 1 contract, and then add on as I keep going. But those 5 contract trades were the ones that ended up saving me, and with small moves. I didn't even have to catch some crazy moves. As you can see, some of these moves are very small compared to the other ones. So I should have just, you know, held my positions a little bit longer, but I had my targets and I got out on my targets with 5 contracts. So with those 5 contracts, if I go for the low hanging fruit and I have my draw on liquidity correct, I have nothing to worry about. But this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If this is the first time you're tuning in, like I always say in the beginning of the video, my name is Lewis. This is just a channel where I'm documenting my trading journey. I'm not a guru, I'm not a teacher. I'm just literally telling you what I saw in the charts and the trades that I ended up taking and not taking, winning, losing, all that. I try to be as transparent as possible in this trading journey. If you go back in my videos, you can really see my progress and where I have grown, where I have messed up, and I go over everything, even like losing streaks and all that. So if you're a beginner trader, I suggest you go and check out my previous videos, because you might find something that you're struggling with right now. And yeah, I'm gonna pass this challenge. I feel so good. I feel like an actual trader now. Once again, thank you to Tektronix for sponsoring this series. Make sure you check out the link to their website if you're looking for a PC, and if you're looking for a forex broker, make sure you check out Hero FX. Link is down in the description. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let's hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. That's basically all that I have to say. Stay safe and let's have a good week coming up. I'll catch you. Peace out.